Welcome to Uncle's channel. Thanks for watching today. Let's talk about how to easily defeat Messmer the Impaler in Elden Ring's DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. Now, this is probably the second hardest boss in the game, maybe first hardest boss depending on your different play styles and whatnot. But Messmer is quite a challenge. But with this particular build and a particular strategy, I think you can wipe him out pretty darn fast. Now, I am going in with the Blasphemous Blade because the Blasphemous Blade scales with dexterity, strength, as well as faith. It's just a great overall weapon for the DLC, and even though you're doing fire damage against him, it still does a great deal of damage every single time it hits him with the skill attack. Now, I'm also going in with certain buffs on my character as well. I am using the Blessing of the Erdtree, I'm using the Golden Vow, I'm using Flame Grant Me Strength, as well as a plus 25 shield because I'm going to do a lot of blocking in this battle as well. I'll put all these items on the screen here, and I'll also list the charms or the talismans that I'm using as well. Now, when you first go into the battle, you have just enough time to summon your Mimic and then go ahead and get ready to dodge into his, blast attack where he sort of rampages into you. You do one dodge and then just wait like a second and then do a second dodge to roll out of the explosion. If you're having any trouble with the timing here, don't worry about doing all the buffs and whatnot. Just rush into the boss battle and work on the timing for these two rolls here because they are vital for this fight. Now, at this point, I do recommend heading off to the left, and we're going to try to keep Messmer basically around this little corner here from it. We want to have him fighting the Mimic on the opposite side of the corner that we are standing on. And when we are standing on the opposite side here, our skill attack for the Blasphemous Blade will go through the little guardrails here and will still hit him. And I recommend, since his attacks are so long, because he does a lot of combos here, when he goes to attack your NPC or attack your summon, I recommend doing 2 full blasts of the Blasphemous Blade, and you can get a very decent portion of his health knocked away here. Then he starts coming after you, and for the most part, I don't recommend dodging through most of his attacks. I recommend just putting the shield up, taking as many as you can, and then for the last one before he does like a Grand Slam, at that point, then you're going to roll to escape the final Grand Slam attack. And at this point, he's going to focus his attention back on the summon again, and you're going to want to go back to our same strategy of getting the corner piece separating us from Messmer, and that way it takes him a little bit longer to get to you and just a little bit more protection from some of his long-range attacks. Now, phase 2 is where Messmer really does come to life here. Messmer is basically able to summon snakes out of the ground, and he can turn into a snake, and it's just crazy all the stuff that Messmer can do in this second phase. Now, as soon as the battle starts up, you're going to be positioned back closer to the center of the room. Don't stay there. Turn around and run back to our little, our hallway here from the beginning. Get your shield up and block every snake attack that comes at you immediately as they're coming towards you. It's not a huge deal if these snakes hit your shield because they're doing mostly physical damage. And therefore, any extra effects as far as fire attack or holy, anything like that, it won't go through the shield to give you any more damage. Now, I do recommend for phase 2 here, we're going to try the exact same strategy that we did in phase 1. It's a little bit harder, but we're going to still try to keep that corner separating us and Messmer anytime he's attacking our NPC. We're still going to want to use the shield in the exact same way when he comes to attack you and then roll away from the very final slam attack. We're still going to try to use the shield for the snake attacks here as well. If they come up from the ground beneath you, you'll see like a little black circle. You can try to roll out of that, but most likely if you do have full HP, you're not going to get killed from it, and once the snake comes out of the ground, knocks you over, put your shield up, tank a few attacks, and then do a quick heal before jumping back into the battle with Messmer again. Honestly, the best advice that I can give you for this battle is just simply always use 2 skill attacks at a time when attacking him with the Blasphemous Blade, and keep that corner between you as often as possible, and don't be afraid to use the shield in order to try to stop a lot of these attacks instead of trying to roll or parry them or anything like that. Just simply tank them and then roll away from the last one before some sort of Grand Slam happens on that. But overall, if you follow these tactics, the battles can be a heck of a lot easier. I'm not over leveled in this video. I'm like 170 maybe, if that, and I don't even have all the fragments of the tree upgraded either. Honestly, I think the Blasphemous Blade is just a little overpowered for this particular DLC, especially since every time you attack, it gives you some HP back. But overall, I think this build and strategy will help you a great deal through Messmer. And if it did help you, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos listed up above, and go out there, find a great game to play. Simply have a great rest of the day.